Now that we've got our Microscribe all set up, we're ready to start trying to recreate our first part here. And we have the part here set up on the camera, and it's just the random part that we've made to try to work on skills in terms of using the Microscribe and doing some different things, doing extruded cuts, doing lofts, possibly doing extruded boss bases, domes, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to start off to do then is really we have to think about how we would build this part. As we go through and we're trying to recreate this part using the Microscribe, we kind of want to work through the same process we would do if we were actually building it. And the more familiar you become with SolidWorks, the easier this will become. So basically the first thing we're looking at as our part here is it kind of would be in general a rectangular shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Microscribe to get a rectangle that's approximately that same size. So we'll take our Microscribe, and I've got the arm moved over in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into our RevWorks, and I'm actually going to pull down this menu to make it a little bit easier to deal with to begin with. And we're going to click right here on Digitize a Rectangle. And it tells us to enter 5 points to digitize that rectangle. And those points will be start at the corner of your base. So hold the digitizer, you don't have to do tons of pressure. Hold the digitizer at the corner of the base. Press. Go to the opposite corner on that same side and click. Then do the middle of each of the other sides. And as you see on the screen, it has drawn a rectangle for us. Now the only thing we want to do yet with our rectangle then before we can continue and move on to doing some of the other features is we're going to go ahead in our sketch here and we're going to just add some relations. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my 2 bases as, I'm going to push Control and click so it holds 2 sides here. I'm going to set those to be parallel. Then I'm going to do my opposite 2 sides. Control click. So they're both selected. And click parallel. And then I'm going to click the base and one of the sides and set those up to be perpendicular. So that's going to make sure I have a nice next square rectangle in this case. Okay, now what we can go ahead and do then is we're going to put in our radius. We're going to put in this curve section here. So in this case, we'll go up to our RevWorks menu. And we're going to go to our calipers, right click on the calipers, go to circle, and click on radius. And so what we need to do then is we just need to measure several points around the radius of our circle. So I start on the side, click, 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 click. And the more points you get, the more accurate it's going to be. And that puts a value then. When I click enter, it gives me a radius value. 1.23 inches is stored to clipboard. So in order to get that radius end of the circle here, we're going to go to fillet, our sketch fillet, and we're going to click those 2 sides of our rectangle where the fillet's going to be. Then our fillet parameters, we'll click Control V or just type in that value and click OK. And now we have that shape. We have that radius here. Okay, the next thing we can do then is we're going to do an extrude boss base to make the height of our object. So before I do that though, what I'm going to do again is go to the calipers and we're going to go to 2 points and do delta Z, because that's going to measure our height. So we need to measure 2 points. And we're going to measure from our base. It doesn't matter which side you do. We put our right on the base of our plate, press OK, and the top of our surface, and press OK. And that gives us a height value that we're going to use. So that 0.51 inches has been stored to clipboard. So we can make sure our sketch is selected. We can exit our sketch. And we're going to go to Features. Again, I'm going to select my sketch so it's all highlighted here. Extruded boss base. And under the depth dimensions here, it's already highlighted. Control V to get 0.51 inches. And click OK. And there is my object. So far, it's been extruded. Okay, that will end this video. The next video will go into doing some of the cuts and making some of the other features on our part.